الشخص يكون عنده معنى لحياته لازم يكون علاقته مع الله سبحانه وتعالى تكون عالية. طالما بعدت عن الخط الروحاني تتلخبط مع الوقت، ما تلاقيش معنى لحياتك. من احنا بنتعلم بننمي نفسنا عشان نوصل لمرحلة من الاتزان توصلنا للسعادة المتزنة.
Well, we have to recognize, number one, that 95% of our behavior is coming from subconscious. Well, we have to recognize, number one, that 95% of our behavior is coming from subconscious. Well, we have to recognize, number one, that 95% of our behavior is coming from subconscious.
انت عارف احنا اول ما بنتولد بناخد برمجة خارجية. اول 7 سنين من حياتنا بنسميها سن التمثيل، يعني بنقلد بابا وماما بالظبط. تاني 7 سنين من حياتنا اسمها السن الاجتماعي، فانا بخرج للعالم الخارجي واصدقاء. عشان كده ساعات الاصدقاء تبص تلاقي مهمين جدا بالنسبه لي، فالاب والام مش عارفين يرجعوه تاني البيت لانه بدا يكتشف انجاز. وثالث 7 سنين من حياتنا اسمها سن الاستقلال، فانا بدات استقل. وبعدين من 21 ل 30 القيم بتتحول وتتشكل اكتر من 7 مرات. دلوقتي انا عندي برمجه جت من العالم الخارجي، فاضل لي 5%. ممكن تغير ادراكك، الادراك يغير الافكار، الافكار تغير التركيز، التركيز يغير الحكم، وكل ده في 1% ممكن يكبر ويتسع وينتشر. فممكن اراجع برمجتي اللي انا جات لي من العالم الخارجي انا مش السبب فيها، فال5% دول بتوعنا، فانا ممكن اغير بيهم ال95%. العقل اللاواعي هو لا يعي الاشياء، وروة العقل اللاواعي. هقول لك حاجه، ممكن انسان يفكر في حاجه لسه ما حصلتش من المستقبل ويحصل له قلق مقدما، ممكن تحصل، مش كده؟ الواحد يفكر في حاجه المستقبل ويضايقه وبعدين يضايق دلوقتي مع انها لسه ما جاتش. فايه اللي حصل؟ هو فكر فيها مقدما وتوقعاته سلبيه مقدما وحط احاسيس سلبيه مقدما وبدا يشعر بيها دلوقتي في الوقت الحاضر مع انها مش موجوده. دي تدينا حب استطلاع. طب طالما افكر في حاجه سلبيه مقدما واتضايق مقدما، طب افكر في حاجه ايجابيه مقدما وانبسط مقدما، والعقل اللاواعي ما يعرفش الفرق، اسمه لاواعي. فانا ممكن ابرمجه زي ما انا عايز. عارف بالنسبه للعقل اللاواعي لو تخليه هو اللي يمشيك هيحطم لك حياتك، لانه ما يعرفش. لأن العقل اللاواعي هو مجرد بيديلك المعلومات اللي أنت عايزها من نفس النوع، فلو ما تعملش فيه تغيير من وقت للتاني هتطلع لك تلقائياتك. لو التلقائيات دي سلبية هتطلع لك سلبية زي ما هي. يبقى أنا واجبي إن أنا عقلي الواعي إن أنا عمال أقرأ، بحسن نفسي، بقوي نفسي، فأنا بقوي نفسي، والحالات دي تخلي العقل الواعي يكون أقوى. فالعقل الواعي صغير خالص كده، العقل اللاواعي قد كده، قد كرة السلة، التاني قد كرة البينج بونج، لكن الصغير ده هو اللي بيبرمج ده. فاحنا واجبنا ان احنا الصغير ده نعلمه صح عشان لما يبرمج الكبير يبرمجه صح. لان الكبير تقول له انا بخاف يقول لك ماشي، تقول له انا مرعوب يقول لك ماشي، بخاف اتكلم قدام الجمهور، تحطها له اكتر من مره، انا بخاف اتكلم قدام الجمهور، بخاف من التحدث امام الجمهور. الكبير يقول لك طب ادي وشي لو طلعتك تتكلم قدام جمهور تاني، وبعد كده ما تصرخش بقى لان انت السبب، انت اللي برمجته. لازم تعمل تغيير في هذه البرمجه، ان تتكلم في الوقت الحاضر، تقولها اكتر من مره، تحط معها احاسيسك، تحطها بطريقه ايجابيه، ما تسيبهاش اطلاقا. بيحصل برمجه في العقل اللاواعي، ساعتها يعمل لك تغيير في اللي انت عايزه لان عنده مخازن الذاكره.
And 95% of your life comes from that subconscious. But the problem is 95% of our life is coming from the programs of life, how to live life that we get in the first 7 years of life. Every human, and this is a fact, every human first 7 years is download, a hypnosis. The brain of a child under 7 is in a lower vibrational frequency. When you put wires on a person's head, you read electroencephalograph, reading brain activity. A child below 7 has a lower vibration than consciousness. It's called theta. Theta is imagination. Oh, that's how kids play a tea party with mud pies, but to them it's a real thing. A kid rides a broom, it's a horse. That's theta, imagination. Well, we have to recognize, number one, that 95% of our behavior is coming from subconscious. So a child is going to record for 7 years, and they're going to record you. You have a new baby. That baby is going to look at you because you are the parent. The first thing a baby learns in the first week or 2 of life, who's the parent? Very important, because that's the reference point. If anything goes in their life, they're going to look at the parent first thing. A child on a playground is on a swing, falls off the swing on the ground. First thing it does is look at the parent. It's reflection. So you have to recognize a child is going to observe every move of you. And then you also have to recognize, well, hell, if 95% of it is coming from my invisible programming, I'm going to pass on the family pattern unconsciously. Those are programs in the subconscious because you've repeated them over and over again. So the subconscious is autopilot. When the conscious is busy, autopilot drives the vehicle. Point is, when conscious is busy, it's not observing what's going on. 95% of your life is coming from the subconscious. Your life is a printout of your subconscious behavior. Oh, so you don't have to try and think about what happened. I just say, look at your life. The things you like that come into your life come in because you have a program that supports them. But anything you struggle with, work hard at, put a lot of effort into making it happen, why you're working so hard, inevitably, you have a program that doesn't support that conclusion and you're trying to override the program. So you don't need to do a lot of shrink and psychology stuff. You just look at your life and say, where am I struggling? Because wherever you're struggling, inevitably it's a program in your subconscious that does not support that destination you've been looking for.
Okay.
The conscious mind is creative and can learn in any number of ways. Read a self-help book, go to a lecture, listen to this program, and conscious mind's going to get some awareness. And I go, yeah, but subconscious mind doesn't learn that way. I go, right, it doesn't. Subconscious mind learns in two fundamental ways naturally. Hypnosis, which is the first 7 years. And after age 7, how do you put new programs in? Repetition. Drive a car, you didn't learn how by just getting in the seat and put the key in. You had to practice driving the car. You want to learn the alphabet. How many times did you go from A to Z? Try to go to A to Z before you can complete it. And once you completed it, you didn't have to go back and do it again. So 2 phases. You want to train the subconscious mind? Hypnosis, repetition. If subconscious gets, I am happy, and 95% of your life comes from that subconscious, there will be a point once the subconscious got, I am happy, you don't have to say it again.
Belief controls biology. What you believe creates your life on the inside and on the outside. And I will explain why it's very difficult to change your beliefs even when you talk to yourself. It doesn't work. I will give you the neurological reason why it is difficult, and then I will show you how easy it can be to change a belief. Perception controls biology because how we see life determines our behavior, controls our genes, and can even rewrite the genetic code. But since our perceptions are sometimes right and they're sometimes wrong, then it's better to call them belief, so that it is belief that controls biology. You're not a victim of your genetics, that you are responsible for what unfolds in your life. Well, we talked about single cells yesterday. Today, I'm going to talk about a community of cells. So when you look at yourself, you're not a single entity, but you are a community of 50 trillion cells. But it's important to understand the word community. Every cell is intelligent, but when they're in a community, they give up their personal intelligence and respond to the central voice. So that the community represents a thing, one thing called an organism. And in that community, that a cell must follow what the central voice is. And if the central voice says to die, the cells will die. So the central voice is the mind. And I will be talking about the nature of the 2 parts of the mind and why we have trouble sometimes controlling our life. So what I would talk about is the role of how this mind works. First, there are signals from the environment, the internal and external environment. The brain, the function of the brain is to perceive the signals and then interpret those signals and then send the information to the cells to control the behavior and the genetics. So the function of the brain is perception, and from that creates the mind. Now, we have heard of something called the placebo effect, right? The placebo effect is when you have a very positive thought that something can heal you, even if you don't know it, but it's a sugar pill, but you believe it's the real medicine, then you can heal yourself with that. So the pill didn't heal you, it was the thought that healed you. Statistics reveal that 1/3 of all medical healings, including surgery, are the result of the placebo effect. Now, The issue is that the placebo effect is when you have positive thinking. There was a question this morning, what about negative thinking? And this is what medicine does not tell you, is that there is negative thinking, and it's called the nocebo effect. And in the same power that positive thinking can heal you, negative thinking can kill you. They're both the same effect. One is more positive, one is more negative, but the effects are exactly the same on your health. One will heal you, and the other can make you sick. The point is that negative thinking can create all the effects of chemotherapy. Now think about this. If a doctor tells you you have a disease, or the doctor tells you you're going to die, and you believe the doctor because he's the professional, the belief will give you a disease and can cause you to die. So belief becomes an important part of medicine.